every Stein Stevens Show, an amazing video podcast with sports stars, entertainment celebrities, and other great guests, combining one host who has no legs, one host who lives in Duluth, Minnesota, and another host who seems to never be on the show. But now, on to the show with Troy, Dave, and maybe even Will.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Geary, Stein, and Stevens as we take you all across sports stadiums and ballparks and everywhere that I can go and Troy can go. And I just happen to be at Chase Field tonight, and there's going to be a great series with the Yankees. We'll talk a little baseball, but Troy has been watching the NCAA tournament religiously, and I know all of our brackets have been completely destroyed, Troy, but are you shocked by the Final Four that we have?
Well, not really. I mean, the shocker is NC State. Nobody expected them to be there, but I think Jimmy V's looking down. They're channeling the 1983 team, and it's remarkable that their run has got them to the Final Four.
Well, I know I'm pulling for that number 11. We've never really had an underdog completely take over, and of course, NC State was that underdog back in the Jim Valvano days when they won the NCAA tournament, but I think it's going to be great. You know, everybody thinks UConn's going to win, but again, nobody thought NC State was going to be there. I mean, they've been fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, DJ Burns, their big center, he seems like he's having a great time out there. And right before the ACC tournament, their coach was expected to get fired, and they ran off 9 straight wins. So just the whole story with NC State is pretty remarkable.
Well, I'm excited to watch it. And again, depending on when you're watching this show, it was either a great tournament or you lost a lot of money on your brackets. But, you know, as we said, I'm here at Chase Field. It's a great series for the fans in baseball. In fact, Yankees don't get to come here much, even with interleague and stuff. So I don't think they've been here since 2019. They don't get to come here a lot. And, of course, everybody is talking about 2001 when the Diamondbacks beat the Yankees in that exciting World Series. And earlier today, I had a chance to catch up with players from both teams to talk about this exciting 2024 season.
Well, last year, met you guys in Miami early in the season. You guys took off and won. Here I am again. I don't know if there's a correlation, but it's good to see you again.
Were you the good luck charm? You kind of pushed in the right direction?
I think so, yeah. I'm the hometown guy here. I wanted you guys. You got to the World Series, but so you enjoying this, or was it too long of an off season?
No, I'll tell you what. It was everything we wanted to be last year. We got off to the start we did. We caught a little tailwind late in the year, and then got into the big dance, and anything's possible. You know, we played an extra month of baseball. It just took us a little while to cycle through that, understand what happened, and how could we get ready for spring training. That was the most important thing once the season ended. And we feel like our athletes are in a good spot. We feel like they trained the right way, they didn't overdo it, and made sure they were ready for opening day. And obviously we had a good opening series, and we're proud of that.
They still call you guys underdogs, but those off-season moves, I mean, this is quite a lineup. It's quite a pitching staff. How do we get rid of that underdog thing?
Well, you know, everybody's going to compare us to the other teams in the NL West, and we have no problem with that. The Dodgers are the Dodgers, and they've won, 12 of the past 13 NL West championships, so they deserve it. They got some of the most prized free agents of all time, from out of the country. Another one was probably arguably one of the greatest free agents of all time. So they deserve the consideration. If we are the underdogs, we're fine with that. We prefer that look. We don't want to assume anything. We don't take anything for granted. We just want to get it done dirty and do it the right way.
And you got a key addition to the bullpen. He had a great session today, Montgomery. So that's going to be exciting once he gets up here.
Yeah. First of all, the front office, Mr. Kendrick and Derek and Mike, they all did a great job in identifying some of the needs that we have. And when you're talking about an elite starting pitcher that's available on the market at that point in time of the offseason, you're wondering where he's going to go. You're hoping he doesn't go to somebody inside of the NL West, and then he turns around and joins us. I couldn't be more pleased.
All right, let's get off of baseball for a second. For our older fans out there, your dad sort of invented, created, run HEE HAW. What was that like as a kid?
Oh, man. My dad was just my dad, and I'm so proud of that. I love the relationship that he had with all of the children. We weren't raised any differently than just being the best sibling possible, the best son or best daughter possible, and we all happen to have this love of sports. But when I look back on it, you know, my 4th grade teacher was the one that told me, like, hey, what did you do last summer? And I said, I went to Nashville, Tennessee, and hung out with my dad. And she said, anything else? And I'm like, no, nothing else. She's like, who did you hang out with? So I started to rattle off some of the names. and Mrs. Huffines was her name, and she said, I got to tell you, that's not normal, right? Like, you're getting to talk to Roy Clark and Loretta Lynn and
Willie Nelson at your birthday party, right?
Willie Nelson, Kenny Rogers. The list goes on and on and on. They were just my dad's friends, but I feel very honored to be around them. I've learned a lot from watching my dad deal with them, and that kind of drove me to what I am today.
And I think that's how you carry yourself because of your dad, those mentors that we had. I just lost my baseball coach who would have been 90 this week, and I was here for the funeral. And you realize those people are so important to make you who you are and what you are as a manager.
For sure, and I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, when you lose mentors, you do a lot of reflecting. You don't really realize what you have while you have them, and then once they're gone, you realize the lessons that they were teaching and talking to you about. And my dad was a very Italian man who was proud of his family and proud of his upbringing, and he instilled a work ethic in me and a belief in your brother sitting next to you who's going to work as hard. You can accomplish some mighty things. And he always talked to me about those types of things. And now that he's gone, I can still reflect upon all that. But mentors are mentors for a reason. They mean something to you today and forever.
All right, best of luck in the rest of the 150 games. We hopefully see him in the postseason. Tory, best of luck, my friend.
Appreciate it.
All right. The pride of Somerdale, New Jersey here, and you've got some family here, Zach. Thanks for being with us, and an early good start to the season for you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. The Somerdale, New Jersey shout out is always nice. Yeah, we got my mom's here, my cousin and her boyfriend. So just catching up, have them on the field. It's cool to be able to do experiences like this.
To have them here and to see you in a big league uniform, it's got to be something you thought about as a kid.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ever since I could remember, it was like I want to play in the big leagues. At that time, it was for the Cardinals. I was a huge Mark McGwire fan. So, but yeah, just to get to the big leagues and do whatever it took to get there.
Speaking of being in the big leagues, I mean, they think of you as the ace of this team. Do you think of the ace, or are you just a guy going out there doing your job?
No, I think I don't think of it probably in the conventional sense. I think of it in the responsibility sense of like when I go out there, the guys in the team, whether it's the offense, the defense, or the bullpen, is counting on me to get through at least 6 innings and give us a chance to win. But I've always had the philosophy that if you're pitching that day and you have the one next to your name on the scorecard, you're the ace for the day. So I try not to get caught up in all the monikers and things like that.
Speaking of getting caught up, I'm sick of them calling you guys underdogs. You guys got to the World Series. You started out hot. You got a great team. Are you tired of hearing that you guys aren't that team that everybody should expect to be so good?
I don't know if I'd say tired of it. I think just the culture and the ecosystem of what we have in that clubhouse, I think guys kind of lean into it. We kind of got some guys that, have gotten overlooked in their career, and they have a chip on their shoulder, and they want to prove that what we did last year wasn't a fluke, and we're a good ball club. And, we give teams fits when we play them on multiple facets and different facets, like not the normal way that, you've seen baseball go. We play really good defense, we steal bases, we pitch well. So it's like your good old-fashioned baseball. Some
new faces, but, man, this is an exciting lineup on the pitching and the hitting side.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you add guys. You bring Geary back, he's an unbelievable guy to begin with, and he's a great player. You add guys like Gino, Erod, Joc, and then now we get Jordan Montgomery here, hopefully in the next couple weeks. So, yeah, we're excited with the guys we've added, and it's a testament to the ownership saying, hey, you give us a product to invest in, we'll invest in, and they went out and did their job. So now it's our turn to kind of help hold up our end of the bargain.
All right, this is the guy that's going to help put these guys back in the World Series. Zach, thanks a lot for your time. Yankee ace Garit Cole. And Garit, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, we miss you. Just didn't, you don't have to say timetable, but how is everything progressing?
Everything's going really well. I miss being out there too, so I'm hoping we keep plugging along.
And there's been great success. It's been great out of the gate to watch these guys, especially in Houston.
Yeah, we played a really nice brand of baseball out there. 4 complete games, defense, offense, pitching. So. Yeah, we put ourselves in a position to win the game 4 times and fortunately came out with 4 of them. So,
and it's a long season, but they're going to need you back. But there's such a different team this year. There's an excitement that I feel when we watch you guys that there wasn't there last year.
Yeah, I think it just more diversity. I mean, we have great players along to go with it, but I think the combination of the two is what has kind of contributed to, I think, that different vibe that you're alluding to.
Can you contribute as a leader to some of these young guys as a pitcher?
Yeah, I'm writing reports. I'm on them, so we'll keep them tight and buttoned up.
All right. Well, best of luck, and hopefully we see you out there in a couple of weeks. All right.
Yeah, Troy, so there's a lot of excitement in the Bronx, as you heard, and of course the Diamondbacks, I mean, they got a lot of key players. It is going to be fun to watch these guys this season.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks just signed Jordan Montgomery, who, beginning of the free agency period, wasn't expected to only command $25 million for 1 year, so they got a steal there. And the Yankees, they got Jaun Soto, and he's been hot the first 4 games. They haven't lost. They swept the Houston Astros, so that's something different. The Yankees expect to be back in the playoffs this year. I didn't pick them to finish more than 85 wins, but hopefully they prove me wrong.
Well, what are you looking for? I mean, obviously the Royals, you want them to win. How do you think the Twins in that division is going to be?
Yeah, the AL Central is still pretty weak. I mean, the Twins are probably the best team out of that division right now, and they might not win 90 games. So that tells you the disparity there. The Royals have improved this year. I think Cleveland is getting some younger pitching, Detroit, and the White Sox are rebuilding. So, it's just going to be AL Central is going to be a kind of a crapshoot, but I think the Twins will probably win that division.
Well, of course, everybody's excited because their teams aren't out of it yet. The Rays didn't start out 13-0 this year, but a lot of good parity, a lot of names and faces has changed. Obviously, Ohtani going through a little more than he expected to as a Dodger, but all in all, it's still exciting as baseball gears up. And we're going to continue from Chase Field, home of the Arizona Diamondbacks, as we throw to break. This is Dave Stevens. You're watching Geary, Stein, and Stevens.
All right, here we are at this amazing Ditka and Jaws Cigars with the stars and our friends at La Fratellanza have given us these amazing cigars. We had a box and they're gone. Everybody here has been coming up and they say this is one of the best cigars. It's not even supposed to be here, and now they're going crazy.
Rod Jaworski, Brian Urlacher, Warren Sapp, everybody loves these cigars. So if you go to LaFratellanzaCigars.com, use the code GS20, you get 20% off of one of their boxes. I mean, these things, like I said, we put them down and they were gone in seconds. Everybody loves them. I mean, this is a great event, too.
I know, but holy cow, and I haven't smoked one yet. I haven't even gotten to taste it. They're just out of the Dominican Republic. They've just released them, and again, it's a labor of love for these guys that put this together. So I'm excited to have them be a part of the Super Bowl, and in fact, they were the biggest hit here, and I wish we had more boxes.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they just started producing these things, and they cannot keep them produced fast enough around the shelf. They're just keep going out, but they're ramping up production, so they're going to be everywhere soon. So get yours today. Go to their website, LaFratellanzaCigars.com. Use the code GSS20 for 20% off a great box of 10 cigars.
All right, let's go find Jaws and light this baby up.
I'm excited to light it.
Hi, everybody. Dave Stevens here for the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show from Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Rays. And you know what? Not everybody can be a Major League Baseball player, but you can look like $1 million. What's the best way to do that? Well, go to FreshCleanThreads.com. Don't believe me? That's right. You can look professional, feel good, and not spend a lot of money by wearing Fresh Clean Threads. They have amazing shirts. They've got Henleys and polos, long sleeves, and even bomber jackets. And if you like them, you can save some money by typing in the show code GSS Show from the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show to save 20% off. So if you can't be a major leaguer and you want to dress like one, well, go to FreshCleanThreads.com. That's FreshCleanThreads.com. Tell them Dave sent you. Use that code GSS Show.
Hi, everybody. Dave Stevens from the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show. And Troy and I are on the road all the time covering games, doing things, my motivational speaking. But I have connected with LifeWave, which has really changed my life. And it's an amazing patch that not only helps me to live my life, it keeps me very active. Tammy Wellman is joining me. And now, Tammy, you put these patches on me. It is a stem cell regeneration plan. But tell us a little bit more how it works.
Yeah, so these patches are amazing. They're wearable wellness. They're non-transdermal patches. Nothing goes in your body. Your body gives off light. They capture it and they activate your body's own repair system. Your body goes to work to heal things that are in need of healing. Pain reduction, things like that.
It gave me an opportunity to play in the Celebrity Softball Classic. This video of my base hit, I wouldn't have done it without these patches. So please, if you want to know more about this product, go to patchit.life. LifeWave, it's changing my life.
Welcome back to the Gary, Stein, and Stevens Show. I'm Troy Geary, home in the home office, but Dave is still out in Arizona. I think he's taking batting practice right now. Let's go out to Dave right now and see what he's up to.
I don't think our buddy Brent Strom is going to let me get in the cages, but it's still great to be at the ballpark. And again, seeing guys like Aaron Judge and Stanton and all of the legendary Yankees, and now looking over in the young guys in the Arizona dugout to see some of these guys like Carroll and all these players that really don't get that love on ESPN in the East Coast. But I gave him a lot of love today as I had a chance to talk to both sides.
Well, one of the newest Diamondbacks, Joc Pederson, here. Joc, how are you getting acclimated to Arizona?
So far, so good. Loving my time, and it's been going well.
This is a great team to come into. I mean, you just got to do your job, and I think everybody else will put the numbers up.
Yeah, it's a really good team, and I'm excited to be here.
And we are, as we represent the Disability Channel, I know you have a great charity that you have and your personal experiences. Why is it important for everybody to get that opportunity that either has a seen or unseen disability to just experience life?
It's huge. My brother Champ has Down syndrome, and really big advocate for getting people with disabilities jobs in the real world. You know, they need to have a purpose, have income, have all these, normal expenses and what that others have. And unfortunately, it's not as not everyone's open to hiring people with disabilities because there's some challenges that I think come with it. But I think that they still need a place to live. They still need to get from A to B, and so my brother can't drive, so whether that's Uber or carpool or something, and they need a purpose, and they can bring a lot of joy into a lot of people's lives if they're open to it.
And being born without legs, I know what it's like to be stared at and have those differences. How tough is it for you to want to be there for him, but know that he's going to experience things that sometimes can be cruel?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you can't make everyone happy, and you can't control everyone's opinions and thoughts, and you can only just try to create positivity and light towards situations that maybe they're not aware of or familiar with. And if it became more normalized, then I think there would be less staring and less negativity towards that.
All right, well, this team is going to be fun to be around. What are you most excited about being a part of this organization?
Awesome. The energy, the youthfulness, everything, the year they had, just looking to build on that.
Played in some tough media markets, too, so this is going to be a little bit of a relief for you, I bet.
Yeah.
Best of luck, man. Enjoy it. All right. Joc Pederson, such an amazing person. A little time with legendary pitcher, now turned Yankee broadcaster David Cone. And Coney, I know it's early, but a lot of excitement in these pinstripes.
It's a great start, especially when you consider it was in Houston on the road and all the pain they've had down there in that ballpark. Had to feel pretty good for these guys.
What are your thoughts on this team? I mean, you got some new guys. The sticks are coming around. I mean, there should be some power this year.
I think there should be. They're much more balanced, lefty-righty combination. And I know, speaking from experience for me, that was hard to face as a pitcher when you had to bounce back and forth between really good right-handed sluggers and good left-handed sluggers. So I'm a big believer in balance in the lineup, and they have probably the best balance they've had in a while.
They're going to need that if Garit's out any extended time. All these other guys are going to have to pick up that slack, especially as a starter.
Yeah, they really are. A lot of their young pitching is going to get tested. We're going to see one tonight, and Luis Gil, who's got a good arm, a young pitcher trying to establish himself. So if you're a young pitcher, you're going to get a chance now.
And you guys don't get to come here a lot, but the Diamondbacks don't seem to get the respect that a lot of teams that have been in a World Series do.
They should, because they are, from a organizational standpoint, a lot of other organizations are trying to copy the Diamondbacks right now. get younger, more athletic, guys that can run, play defense, all-around ball players are coming back in vogue.
Mr. Perfect Game joining us. Best of luck the rest of the season. Thank you, Coney. All right, a little time with legendary Yankees broadcaster Michael Kay. Michael, you guys don't get to come to Arizona, but it's fun, except if you look back to 2001, right?
Yeah, that was tough. I was just talking about that to Aaron Boone. I remember being in that clubhouse and Mariano Rivera answering questions for 50 minutes, 5-0, same questions over and over again, and standing off to the side with his arms crossed, really angry, was George Steinbrenner staring at him. I'll never forget that. Also, Paul O'Neill, that was the last game he ever played. And he wouldn't take his uniform off because he knew once he took it off, it was over.
Those are great memories. But every year it starts out, you have the same job as a manager because you've got to get to know the players, what they do, their strengths and weaknesses. So you got a lot of homework to do in the off season.
Well, yeah, obviously you do a lot of reading and you listen to everything that you can listen, but it's on a different level what they know. I mean, with all the analytics, I don't get into that. I just try to watch them and call what I see. But I don't know how they get the information that they get, but they have everything on everybody.
And I listen to you all the time. One of the greatest stories you've recently told was you're sitting at home, you're watching TV, watching Private Parts, the au-pair comes in, a controversial scene is on TV, you pause it, and you take over the story.
Yeah, it was a real controversial scene because there was a woman that was nude, and she was sitting on a speaker as Howard Stern was talking this when he was in D.C. And, my kids were upstairs, my wife was upstairs. I didn't know where the au pair was, but she was out that night, and she walked in, and I'm fumbling with the remote, and I paused it, and it wasn't a great pause because it was right when this nude woman, everything you could see, was right there. I didn't even know what to say, so it was an embarrassing moment.
Better than Game of Thrones, right? It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could. Well, this was pretty bad.
All right, well, this team, it's a couple days out, but are you excited for them? The strengths, some key additions, and Soto.
I mean, Soto is so special. You know that he's a great player, but to see him every single pitch and how every at bat he works to count, and he's like into every single pitch that he sees, he doesn't give anything away. He's going to change the whole way the team operates. I mean, they all grind at bats now. They get into the bullpen. He's a special player. I think he's gonna raise them up.
You think they're going to be in contention?
Yes, I do. Right. It'd be nice if they get Cole back.
All right, legendary Michael Kay spending some time with us. Well, it's always great to catch up with an old friend like pitching coach Brent Strom. Brent, this Montgomery, man, I'm excited to see him come up. What's his status these days?
Well, it's funny you should ask. I was out at Salt River this morning. He threw about 50 pitches to some hitters, first hitters he's faced since they won the World Series against us. But he looked good, very nice man. Excited to have him with us, and he's going to be headed to Reno for a couple rehab starts, and I'm sure we'll see him very, very soon.
And you're adding to an already strong pitching staff. Out of the gates, a good start. What are you looking for early in the season for most of those starters?
Well, obviously strikes are important. I thought Fott yesterday was really special. We have a stat that we keep, winning the race to 3, which is throwing 2 of the first 3 pitches for strikes, and he did that 21 out of 22 hitters, so about a 95%. Doesn't get much better than that. So, I'm anxious to see Ryan Nelson tonight. We've adjusted his delivery a little bit, made him become more aggressive, more athletic. You'll see a higher leg kick, more up-tempo delivery tonight, so I'm hoping it plays.
Now, you've been on the hangover of losing and the hangover or the excitement of winning a World Series, so do you have any structure going into this year to kind of warn the players like last year and we got to move on?
Yeah, you know me. I'm not the most. I have to admit, I'm not the most optimistic person in the world. I sometimes see the glass half empty. I am worried about regression, but
I'm half all the way anytime.
But I was worried a little bit about regression, but so far the players have been working very hard, and they realized last year was last year, and we have work to do if we want to get back to where we were. Because when you look at it, we were quite lucky to get in, and once we got in, then we did some damage. But getting in is key, and it's a long season, and hopefully we can stay healthy. Obviously, I'd love to have Eduardo Rodriguez back and Paul Sewald. They're 2 main pieces to our puzzle, so hopefully we'll get them back soon.
And early, for the people out there that don't know, how much do you pull the guys quicker than you normally would because you don't want to burn them out, but you also want to have them there in September?
Well, we've been very conservative so far. I think 80 pitches most anybody's thrown. But we kind of figured coming into spring training, we slow walked it a little bit with Gallen, who had 240 innings last year. Kelly was close to 200. A couple of those guys we slow walked spring training, but they're on track right now to be where they're supposed to be. I think if you look throughout the league, you're seeing a lot of teams doing the same thing.
Yeah, I pinch myself that I still get to do this stuff. And Troy, we get to continue to have amazing guests on this show. I mean, the sky's the limit, but I know you're about to head out to the NFL draft. What are your expectations in Detroit?
Well, yeah, it's about 4 weeks away when we tape the show, but yeah, it's going to be a great time in Detroit. Move a lot of smoke screens going out with players that are projected to be at this pick or this team. So it's going to be interesting. I'll be out there all reporting live, and we'll get some interviews with guys that are just getting off the stage. And after they hug Roger Goodell, they'll come talk to me. So
yeah, maybe the Vikings can move up and try to do something with their pick. I don't know. There's so much speculation of who's going where and who's doing all those interviews, and now players saying, "Oh, I don't want to go play for that team." It'll be interesting to see what happens with that USC quarterback and everybody that'll fall in line. But we're going to wrap things up here for the ballpark. I got to catch a plane and get home to Connecticut so we can get back to Troy being on the road for a change, because I'm tired of all this traveling, Troy. We've been into a lot of places this year. Super Bowls, you were at the Big Ten tournament, and we didn't even talk about the women's tournament, Caitlin Clark, and the excitement that she has brought to college women's basketball. Right, Troy?
yeah, the Final Four is coming up here in Cleveland, so we'll see who wins who joins the other two teams in the Final Four. But yeah, she's definitely helped push the college basketball landscape. Not just her, but there's so many other amazing women in the tournament that are just unbelievable. So it'll be fun to watch.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up from Chase Field, home of the Arizona Diamondbacks, as the players are coming back out for a little more workouts as they prep this field. There's going to be chaos tonight and for the next couple of days. And again, everybody's excited because nobody's out of contention, including the Minnesota Twins. So we'll continue to give you the best shows and programs on Spotify and Apple and all of the places that we have. And again, download Your Home TV. Go to yourhometv.com, or if you've got the Roku app, download that Your Home TV app, and you can catch us on YouTube TV, Facebook. Troy, where are we not? We're not on MySpace, right?
I don't know if that even exists anymore, does it? Tom's somewhere out there, but
yeah, our good old friend Tom. All right, for Troy, and I don't know where Will is. This is Dave Stevens at Chase Field. We love you. Continue to watch us and join us on all platforms.
Thank you for tuning in to the Geary, Stein Stevens Show. Follow us on social media. Watch us on yourhometv.com, or now we're on Roku. Download it and watch us. And thanks for tuning in. Until next time, America.